How y'all been? Y'all miss me? Y'all miss me? Listen, I waited a long time for this. It's been a long time since I posted a video on my YouTube, and I'm back. You know what I'm saying? I'm back. I had to take a break. I had to recalibrate. You know how I be doing my recalibrations, but I'm gonna literally go break through something that I went through with my class in the business engine last week on how to have the best year of your life. And you know, I've changed a lot of things. I've grown from the last time I posted a video, but this time we're gonna do it a lot different. You know, we're gonna get this page active. I'm gonna go live every single week, every single day, not the weekends. I'm gonna go live during the week, not on the weekdays. I'm gonna go live. I'm challenging myself to go live at 9 a.m. every single day on the weekday at 9 a.m. for the entire month of January, and I want to see how that looks. Right? But Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I'm glad to be here. I'm happy to be here. Last year, just in review, like one of my goals was to become a better speaker. Like I needed to become a better speaker. That was one of the goals. And I did mentorships, I did coaching programs, I did a lot of courses, I did a lot of speaking engagements. And I had I call it the vision universe. I made a vision universe, and in the middle of my vision universe was speaking, becoming a better speaker. I wanted to get on 12 stages. I want to get on one stage per month, right? And even though I didn't get on one stage per month, I got on 14 stages because it was like I had weekends where I would go three different stages in a weekend. So it was amazing. I made, some good money from speaking, especially coming from, being like my first year really going full force speaking to make over six figures is truly inspiring and truly amazing. And definitely credited towards the companies I built. I have a good social proof, Build and Earn Your Leisure, and companies like that. It makes it a lot easier to get bookings, because they got the co-founder, CEO of Earn Your Leisure at their event. But I had to use that to my advantage, which I did. But I also had to get better at this thing called speaking and communicating. And I definitely am a lot better from my first video. If you go to my first video, which I'm not sure if it's on here, but I started this channel as a weight loss channel, and I was like 330 pounds, and I was like, I gotta lose some weight, right? I was tired of being fat, and I just did my journey, and I lost like 85 pounds. So it was truly amazing. It was inspiring too, but but this is 2026. It's a new year. We didn't lose anything. We didn't, we got lessons. Anything that you didn't do, there's a couple things that I didn't accomplish, a couple of things that I wanted to accomplish, but we all got to look back and see how much did you accomplish. Focus on the positive. A lot of times we focus too much on the negative, and it puts us back in that dark place, it discourages us. It makes us not feel like, the energy that we need to do more, right? It takes away that drive. And this is definitely going to be a really great year for me. I feel it. I know that everything I learned from the previous years, I'm going to pour into my community, the business engine. If you know about the business engine, shout out to you. If you don't, it's thebusinessengine.com. That's a community that I built, that I speak every single week. And that's another thing. That's the repetitions, right? Repetitions is always going to help you and help you build your communication. If you want anything, repetitions in anything actually, but yeah. So let's get into it. So I want to break down this one thing in this video that helped me accomplish these goals over the years. Like last year was getting on 12 stages. I got on 14, but how did I do it? Like, what did I do? Like, now I teach this in my group, in my business community, the business engine, and I teach it, and it's been very highly effective, since I've been using it, which was the past 3 years, right? So I want to teach you guys. I want to go over it and set your year up to becoming your best year ever, right? I think a lot of times we want to do these things called vision boards and whatnot, and What happens with that vision board is you create this vision board, whether it's the beginning of the year or the end of the previous year, and you have all this excitement, you have all this, emotions and all this buildup that you're going to complete this vision board. And 9 out of 10 times, that vision board is like in your closet somewhere or in the garbage. It's just disappeared, right? And when you also have a vision board filled with so many things that you want to accomplish, I feel like that becomes discouraging too, because you can't. The best way to ever do anything is to do one thing at a time, right? If I'm on live, I'm on live, right? If I'm gonna be playing with my kids, I'm playing with my kids, right? So you got to just focus on one thing. I think that is the way to get to your goals, right? And that's the way to accomplish anything. So I came up with this strategy called the Vision Universe, right? And the sun, imagine the sun, right? Imagine the sun, which is the biggest planet, right? The sun is that thing that you want to accomplish, like the number one thing, right? My number one thing this year is to build the business engine community massively, right? Massively. That's my number one thing, right? So if we go to the vision board, right? I'm sorry, if you go to the Vision Universe, I apologize, right? You want to put your sun in the middle. Let me see if it's showing, right? So get a piece of paper, write down Vision Universe, and put your sun in the middle, right? This is your sun, right? Got all the lights, the beams coming from it. And this is the main goal. This is the thing that has to happen. Like, it has to happen. No ifs, ands, buts about it, right? And I said it's going to be TBE, right, for me, right? The business engine, right? That has to happen. I want to grow it to, say, 1,000 members, right? Right now I'm at like 50 members, but I want to grow it at 1,000 members, right? So I got to get 950 members in this business engine for it to, reach my goal, right? So now, the thing about this the Vision Universe that I really love is that I focus on everything around the sun, my goal, that aligns with it, right? So whether it's, marketing, right? Right, and this would be a planet. This would be a planet, right? Whether it's education, right? This is another planet. You look on this one is, think about networking, right? Another planet could be technology, right? So there's a few different things I can focus on, right? Now, it doesn't have to be four, it doesn't have to be three, it doesn't have to be, it just has to be all the things that are around this sun that is going to keep this sun shining and complete your goal, right? So why I say marketing, right? In order to get more members, I have to market, right? This YouTube is a form of marketing. I want to go live every single month. I mean, every single day, because I want to, one, get repetition, but two, I'm going to be marketing the business engine. This is going to be a way that I can get more members in. So this is different techniques in marketing. I can run ads, right? That is a different thing of marketing, right? I can create campaigns, right? So and now you can have planets going, also on that same line as marketing, right? So it could be more planets. Like, you can come out here, you can call this one ads, that's that's something that's aligned with that goal. Then I can go to, content. So it can also, it's we're creating this universe of planets, right? So you can keep going in that line, right? So if it's marketing, boom, education, you know, learn curriculum, learn more curriculum, right? How to teach curriculum, right? Right? Educate myself on more things, on more skills, so I can teach my community, right? That's what I do. I learn a lot of things, right? But I've learned a lot of things over the last 20 years, right? And I poured all these things that I learned inside of Earn Your Leisure, inside of InvestFest, inside of EYL University, right? And now I'm pouring it into other people, right? Because I'm teaching frameworks. That's the greatest thing about the business engine, right? So I have something called the MacPack community where I teach literally how to use a tool. And that could be overwhelming, but I'm really, really kind of locking with the younger audience with the MacPack because I feel like these younger audiences have these very powerful tools, these phones, and they're not using them the way they should be using them, right? Like they're on Instagram, they're on TikTok, they're on Snapchat and YouTube, and they're on there for entertainment. But I was like, let me think of a way where I can teach these young adults how to use this phone as an asset, right? Our number one, our slogan is assets over liabilities. And this is one of your greatest assets, especially for a young kid. So what I do is I teach them how to use that phone as an asset, whether it's learning how to do content creation, learning how to do YouTube, learning how to build people's brands, learning all these different tools, right? The technical side on MacPack, right? So I was really good at that because I've been doing that for so long. But what ended up happening is that I couldn't apply these tools to other companies, right? I can apply them to individuals, but if you have a company, it's not as efficient to learn these tools to grow your business. So I had to think about frameworks, and that's when I spent like 30, 40,000. I spent a lot of money on coaching programs where they teach you how to build frameworks of the information you know. And that's what I'm able to do with the business engine. I literally teach frameworks. So I can teach a framework on how to do an event, right? Literally outline a whole entire framework, and all you have to do is input your information for your event, and now you can create an event, a successful, profitable event. And that's what it is, right? And then that's technically what I've created, right? I've created frameworks throughout, and I have like 28, 29 frameworks so far. But now that's what I need, right? That's what I need to be able to grow the business engine. I need to educate more frameworks, right? I need to have more frameworks. I need to collab with more partners, right? One thing I have in the community is other people, other experts that I'm not efficient in, like my curriculum, the MacPack that's in schools. I had my friend Amber come on and teach curriculum because she's so great at it, right? She built my whole entire curriculum. She took all my genius and turned it into a curriculum, and we put it into 3 schools, right? I can't teach that. That's not what I do. So I let my experts teach that, right? So that's one way that I'm going to be able to get more people inside of the business engine is partner with other experts, right? I know a lot of people in the industry that do a lot of great things. So me going to networking events, speaking to people, letting people know what I do, that is a big thing that I think people don't really do much. They don't let people know what they do. Like they just go under the radar and could be talking to your next business partner, could be talking to the next investor, and they never tell them what they do. So that is something that I'm focusing on too is networking. I got to do more networking, right? That's going to help this thing grow, right? Technology. The more technology I implement, right? I went from using Kajabi from the business end to now I'm using a company called Uscreen, right? So now I got an app. I got very fluidless. It has a community built in. It's going live is I have 3 different options to go live, so you could see it. It's what I'm doing is I'm adding different elements of technology and learning different technologies to enhance the user experience to TBE, the business engine, right? And that's going to ultimately let me ultimately allowed me to grow my business into 1,000 members. So now these are all planets. So you picture these things as planets around your main goal. And I think that is what helped me become very successful over the years, because I focused on one goal. I think a lot of times you focus on too much and visible, right? And this is helped me tremendously grow. Now, the most important part, this is the most important part about this vision universe, is something I call, and write this down, active triggers, right? Oh, let me get you back on the board. It's something I call active triggers, right? Write this down. Like I said before, a lot of times we create these vision boards, and these vision boards are nowhere to be found come February, March, April, right? How can I keep my eyes on the prize? How can I, you know, always have in my mind on what I want to accomplish throughout the year, right? And I create active triggers. What is an active trigger? One could be, you know, your screensaver on your phone, on your laptop, on your computer, on your screens, vibe boards, whatever. Have a picture of the business engine reaching 1,000 members, right? Go to ChatGPT and say, can you create a picture of 1,000 people in a room and put the business engine logo on it, right? And look at it every single day, right? Multiple times on a day, right? That is an active trigger. That's gonna always keep your eyes on the prize. Another one is a certain place, right? It could be in your house. It could be, you know, in your car, but that certain place you go, and you got to think about your son, right? Your goal, right? My wife has her prayer closet. She goes to her prayer closet every day, and she focuses on, prayer, devotional, and what she wants to complete every for that year, that day, vice versa. But you have to have a place, right? And that place is going to represent you. It's going to activate a trigger that makes you want to do that thing, right? Complete that thing, achieve that thing, right? Number 3 is put Post-its, right? Post-its around your home, right? My wife has them in the shower. I'm like, yo, we have the same shower, right? But she has one side, I have another side, and on her side, she has all these Post-its of everything she wants to complete. But that's another thing, right? That is another active trigger, right? So you can go on and on and on, but depending on how your life is set up, like I know that I go on my computer every single day. My vitamins and the pills I take are on my desk. Why? People ask why they're on your desk. I'm like, because I know I go here every single day, and it's an active trigger for me to see it, so I remember to take it, right? So that is an active trigger, and create active triggers all through it. Don't just have one. Create many active triggers, so you can keep pounding that drive, that vision into your head, knowing that what you're doing this for, right? What are you doing this for? You got to keep doing it, right? And how you do it is put active triggers everywhere around. And that way, that momentum that you had in the beginning of the year, when you created this vision, right, for this year, it stays in your front of your head, in the front of your vision, right, all through the year, because you have those active triggers. So that's been this exercise, this technique has been helping me tremendously throughout the years on completing my goals, and how I got a great business, right? How I built great businesses, how I built great relationships, how I built, everything around my life at this very, very moment. It was a vision, right? I had it in my vision universe, and everything. It might not be like to have a house, right? That was never my main goal, right? But my main goal, say on EYL University, is to have 12,000 members. I know if I have 12,000 members on EYL University, I can achieve, other things around that 12,000 members, right? So those things, right? So that was one of my sons, right? So everything around that sun has to be aligned with what you want to complete. So I think, guys, if you apply this to your life, this is going to be very, very, very helpful for you to be successful for this year. And I can guarantee it almost that you'll be very successful this year if you apply what I taught in this video. But this was cool. I'm going to do this every day. I don't know how long the video is going to be. They're going to be as long as I can make them entertaining, right? Or inspiring or educating, right? And I'm going to do Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. If this is your first time watching, catch me this whole entire month on the weekday. I'm going to be live 9 a.m. And I like to see where this goes and see how, how do people respond. Put in the comments, let me know what you would like to hear about. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about this strategy, one of the frameworks I teach in the business center called Word Vomit. And Word Vomit is tremendously changed my life. My friend, partner, Denise, she don't say it, but it's really true that she came up with this because of me, because I got so many great ideas. I got so much going on in my brain, but I needed to organize it. And she came up with this method called Word Vomit. And tomorrow I'm going to break down Word Vomit, and I'll give you like a worksheet as well that you can take and kind of help you apply Word Vomit to your life. And that's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. And then next week, we're gonna go in, and if you're in the business engine, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. we live. We ain't take no breaks. We ain't take no time off. That's another thing. Everybody wants to take the last week, the last 2 weeks off for the year because they want to prepare for the next year, whatever, and get some rest. That is the moment where that's when you get ahead of everybody else. When everybody's taking off, you go harder, right? And that's what I do. So that's my leverage. That's how I get leverage into my space of what I'm doing. So, guys, I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. What is it like? 30 more days left. We did 30 with this one day down. Let's go. I'll see y'all. Take it easy.